Welcome to Earth and Conquests. My name is Mike. This episode of Nemesis Battles shares a flashback story with a Warlock and a Paladin when they both were at level 2 using the rules in the 2024 Player's Handbook of Dungeons & Dragons. The flashback includes a combat encounter within a larger story narrative that reveals about the character origins and developments. As with all of the episodes of Nemesis Battles, I will clarify what happens with the game mechanics and the story narrative while demonstrating in the 3D world builder and virtual tabletop system of RPG stories. For extra details about the characters, in the video text description, you can find the web links for the level 2 character sheets in D&D Beyond. The Warlock and the Paladin are not fully optimized for combat. They represent the kinds of characters that I usually meet in a campaign starting at level 1 and then making choices up through higher levels. I encourage to imagine what could be different with other character options. The Warlock is an infernal tiefling named Bellade Burns. When she was at level 2, she committed with a pact of the blade, using her longsword as her pact weapon. In order to improve her skills and to find a place where she felt like she belonged, she enrolled as a student at the Spellsword Academy. The Paladin is a fire giant Goliath named Ritalia. When she was at level 2, her strong sense of nobility and honor made her a good candidate to be recruited as a protector at the Spellsword Academy, to serve with vigilance, and to guard the secrets of whatever or whoever she might be protecting. Currently in the larger story narrative, the Warlock Bellade Burns is at level 15. She prepares for a major attack against the Spellsword Academy. Today, a wandering hunter guides several families of farmers away from their homes and over to live in a new place of productive lands around a magical mansion. The farmers no longer will produce the food supply for the Spellsword Academy. Instead, they will contribute to a new community here. They wonder who is the proprietor of this magical place. When will this person be revealed? The wandering hunter announces that she has brought the farmers as far as she can, and now she will return to her life as a wandering hunter. The appearance of the wandering hunter is only a superficial magical illusion. In a secluded spot, the true form is revealed as the Warlock Bellade Burns. Secretly, the Warlock enters into her magical lair. She prepares to address the crowd of people assembled here and awaiting her appearance. The Warlock remembers the years of her life that worked toward this moment. She remembers one crucial turning point years ago when she was a young student at the Spellsword Academy. During her time as a student, Bellade Burns recognized that she could not compete with the more advanced students. As much as she trained with her longsword, and as much as she studied in the archive, still she fell behind the expectations of an academy student. She would need to improve her work or else she might not be able to continue at the academy. While studying in the archive, Bellade Burns heard a faint whisper of a voice coming from the flickering flame of a candle. The voice told her about another secret archive, sealed behind hidden doors and beneath the ground of the academy campus. Here, Bellade Burns could learn about the most ancient secrets of the Spellsword Academy. Whoever can access this ancient knowledge could gain extraordinary power beyond the imagination of anyone currently at the academy. During the last centuries, one generation after another of the Academy's most elite scholars have tried and failed to learn the ancient secrets of the underground archive, while preventing anyone else from accessing into this place. Many of these scholars have gone mad while reading the ancient texts that they could not comprehend. The Talking Flame offers to help Bellade Burns to access into this secret underground archive. In exchange, Bellade Burns must do something for the Flame, specifically to prevent anyone else from accessing into the underground archive. Bellade Burns agrees. She senses that perhaps the voice in the Flame somehow could be related to her heritage as an infernal tiefling. This relationship could prove to be more productive than struggling as a student at the academy. Bellade Burns finds the two most advanced students, namely a Bladesinger and an Eldritch Knight. They are known for their intense rivalry and occasional duels against each other. Bellade Burns plants whispers of deceit throughout the academy campus, giving life to the partly false rumors about how the Bladesinger and the Eldritch Knight regard each other as unworthy of advancing to the next level in the Spellsword Academy training. As the Warlock intended, the entire campus population is focused on a duel between these two rival students. Even the academy directors are present to preside over the event. This occasion provides the distraction that Bellade Burns needs. While nobody is looking at her, she moves through a series of doors and hidden passageways, leading to the secret underground archive. The talking flame manifests in her mind and guides her toward her goal. At a certain point, only one more doorway stands between the Warlock and the secret archive. Devoted paladins guard this doorway, but right now, only a single paladin is here. Everyone else is outside to observe the duel between the Bladesinger and the Eldritch Knight. The talking flame instructs for Bellade Burns to find a way to seize the special talisman from this paladin. Bellade Burns will need this divine talisman in order to defend against the undead spirits who lurk inside the secret archive. Whenever scholars have gone mad with reading the incomprehensible texts, then eventually they transform into undead spirits. They haunt the secret archive, and they attack any living creature who enters into this place. The paladin holds the holy relic of a talisman that can safeguard against these haunting spirits. The paladin, Ritalia, orders for the warlock to halt and to identify herself. The paladin knows the few Academy archivists with authorized access into this place. She knows that Bellade Burns is a student and not an authorized Academy archivist. The warlock Bellade Burns demands for the paladin to surrender the holy talisman. The paladin, Ritalia, declares that nobody can force her to abandon her sacred duty. The two characters roll for initiative. The warlock rolls 11, the paladin rolls 9. The warlock will act first, followed by the paladin. In round 1, the warlock Bellade Burns resists the temptation to rush into melee contact to use her packed weapon longsword. She knows that the paladin is significantly stronger and more durable, especially in melee combat. As a bonus action, Bellade Burns casts the spell Hex, using a first-level packed magic spell slot. With her concentration up to the next 1 hour, she applies a Hex upon the paladin. The warlock can add 1d6 necrotic damage to every successful hit with an attack roll. Additionally, the Hex imposes disadvantage on the paladin's ability checks with one ability, in this case targeting the paladin's wisdom score. As her action, Bellade Burns casts the cantrip Eldritch Blast, launching a beam of force at the paladin. The attack roll is 18, hitting against the paladin's armor class of 18. The Eldritch Blast causes the maximum of 13 force damage. The Hex spell adds 5 necrotic damage. The paladin automatically is pushed 10 feet away, with the warlock's Eldritch invocation of Repelling Blast applied with the Eldritch Blast cantrip. Bellade Burns steps away, intending to move back through the other door. However, the door by now has closed. The warlock needs to use an interaction with an object to open the door. She uses the remainder of her movement to step as far away as she can. The paladin, Ritalia, starts her turn with 2 of her total 20 hit points. She strides toward the intruder. The distance is too far for the paladin to enter into melee contact during her turn right now. In this case, the paladin uses her bonus action to cast Divine Favor with a first-level spell slot. During the next 1 minute, the paladin, Ritalia, can add 1d4 radiant damage to all of her successful weapon attacks. The paladin cannot move into melee contact right now, but she can throw a javelin at the warlock. As an interaction with an object, Ritalia rests her pike in one hand while she uses the attack action with her other hand to draw out and throw a javelin. The attack roll is 16, hitting against the warlock's armor class of 13. The javelin causes 7 piercing damage. Ritalia applies her Fire's Burn feature as a fire giant Goliath, adding 5 fire damage. The fire damage is reduced down to 2 points due to the warlock's fire resistance as an infernal tiefling. The paladin's Divine Favor adds 4 radiant damage. With the slow weapon mastery of the javelin, the warlock loses 10 feet of her movement, lasting until the start of the paladin's next turn. With the damage of this attack, the warlock needs to roll a Constitution saving throw to concentrate on her Hex spell. A result of 11 succeeds. The concentration continues. In round 2, the warlock Bellade Burns starts her turn with 2 of her total 15 hit points. As her action, she launches another Eldritch Blast at the paladin. The attack roll is 23, hitting against the paladin's armor class of 18. The Eldritch Blast causes 7 force damage. The Hex adds 2 necrotic damage. Once again, the Repelling Blast pushes the paladin 10 feet away. The paladin, Ritalia, falls with 0 hit points. She is unconscious and incapacitated. Bellade Burns retrieves the Holy Talisman. She recognizes that it radiates with divine energy. Before she came to the Spellsword Academy, Bellade Burns served as an acolyte at a religious monastery. With this background, Bellade Burns is familiar with this kind of holy relic, even though right now is her first time to observe this particular item of the talisman. This holy talisman generates an emanation of divine energy in a radius of 15 feet. Within this zone, any creatures are immune to any damage or effects caused by undead creatures. Bellade Burns proceeds through the final doorway leading into the secret underground archive. The area is filled with old books and ancient tomes. Several apparitions appear. They are the undead spirits of Academy scholars who were driven mad by reading the impossibly incomprehensible texts of this archive. The undead spirits grimace at the emanation of the Holy Talisman. The divine magic appears to be effective. Searching through the archive, the Warlock wants to find the source of the most ancient and powerful knowledge. With an investigation skill check of 18, she can identify how the books are organized. She could move quickly with evaluating the books that will be of the greatest interest for herself, but still this initial effort would require at least some hours to complete. Bellade Burns feels uneasy about staying in this place for too long because eventually she will be discovered by the Academy archivists and scholars. In this moment, the undead spirits offer that they can guide the Warlock directly to the most ancient tome of this archive, written many centuries ago by the original founder of the Spellsword Academy. Bellade Burns knows that the Academy founder is revered as the most knowledgeable and powerful mage of all time. The founder's statue stands at the center of the Academy campus, where everyone can see it and pay respects on a daily basis. Access to the Academy founder's knowledge is exactly what Bellade Burns wants. The undead spirits reveal the book, and they offer it to the Warlock with certain conditions. She must read the tome here, and then she must destroy the Holy Talisman that she carries. Bellade Burns agrees. Now she must read rapidly through the pages of this tome with very little time before she may be driven mad by the intense nature of the arcane texts. She rolls an intelligence saving throw. A result of 6 fails. Bellade Burns can read the tome for only the next 4 minutes before she will suffer severe psychic damage and other negative effects. The Academy Founder's tome contains 100 chapters, each chronicling a major battle between the Academy Founder and a different arch-nemesis. Within her time limit, the Warlock maybe can learn the basic highlights of a few chapters. First, an otherworldly force constructed a magical lair and challenged the Spellsword Academy. The Academy Founder defeated this foe only by drawing the rival out from the lair and into a vulnerable position. Eventually, the lair fell into disrepair and passed into myth and legend. In the present day, this place is now the Warlock's new lair of her own. Second, an exceptionally powerful dragon crossed through a portal from the Shadowfell into the material world. The Academy Founder defeated the Shadow Dragon, but the dragon's heart continued to beat and to exude a dangerous corrupting energy. The dragon's heart could not be destroyed by any means in the mortal world. Instead, the Academy Founder sealed the dragon's heart inside a tomb. This place passed into myth and legend. In the present day, Bellade Burns found the tomb and reopened it, thereby threatening the world with the corrupting energy of the dragon's heart and forcing the nearby farmers to flee, now coming to live at the Warlock's new lair. Other heroes have sealed the dragon's tomb once again, but the Warlock already achieved her purpose. Third, an arch-fiend from a hellish domain manipulated and coerced warlocks to do the bidding of the fiend and to create fear and dread in the mortal realm, increasing the fiend's power until the fiend was on the verge of getting enough power to enter into the mortal realm. The Academy Founder learned the true name of this arch-fiend, representing the only way to defeat the fiend who otherwise would be immortal. Instead of risking the loss of immortality, the fiend abandoned the ambitions of entering into the prime material plane, at least for a while. The Academy Founder eventually met the end of his mortal life, while the Archfiend would need to start all over again with gaining the power to attempt to enter back into the realm. The Academy Founder wrote the Fiend's true name in only one place, but it is not within this tome. In the present day, the Warlock's patron is this same Archfiend, and the Warlock's fiendish contract requires that she must launch an attack at the Spellsword Academy. At this point, the Warlock Bellade Burns stops reading the ancient tome. The time limit of 4 minutes has expired. Any further reading will cause significant psychic damage and could cause permanent madness. As she promised to the undead spirits, Bellade Burns will destroy the Holy Talisman. First, though, she will move toward the exit where she can escape quickly. Otherwise, without the protection of the Holy Talisman, Bellade Burns will be exposed to the undead spirits of this place. In this moment, the Warlock Bellade Burns finds that she does not know how to destroy this ancient holy relic. The voice of the flame comes to her once more, announcing that all she needs to do is to ask for the flame to destroy the talisman, and then it will be done. All that the flame asks in return is for the Warlock's loyalty. Bellade Burns agrees with this proposal. Flames erupt and consume the talisman. Bellade Burns moves through the doorway. The undead spirits are bound within the secret archive, and they cannot exit this place. At the exterior side of the door, the Warlock Bellade Burns finds that the Paladin Retalia has been revived and healed. Other paladins are here as well, presenting an overwhelming force. The Academy directors have assembled, glaring sternly. The Academy directors declare that the Warlock Bellade Burns now is expelled from the Academy. If ever she will appear in this place again, then she will be considered as an enemy of the Academy. Furthermore, the Academy directors declare that the Paladin, Retalia, now is relieved of her duties as an Academy protector. She no longer will be granted any access or privileges at the Academy. The Academy directors seal the entrance into the secret archive. They forbid anyone from entering into here. The Paladin, Retalia, wanders through the countryside. She is angry at herself for her failure, but she is more concerned about how the Academy directors delivered an unjust punishment. With a sacred oath, Retalia devotes herself to seek justice for all people who have been wronged. The Warlock Bellade Burns continues to study about magic on her own. The Talking Flame reveals itself to her once again with a proposal of a formal contract between the Warlock and an archfiend. Returning back to the present day, Bellade Burns reveals herself to the masses of people gathered around her lair. She welcomes everyone who has come here with a promise that everyone here will be safe from the dangers of the magic that the Spellsword Academy could not control. This place will be a land of peace and prosperity for everyone. The people rejoice, expressing profound relief of finding a new place to start a new life. Bellade Burns moves into her study area, contemplating her next steps. The Archfiend reminds that the current fiendish contract requires for the Warlock to attack the Spellsword Academy. These delays and preparations have consumed too much time already. Bellade Burns clarifies that she genuinely has been working toward this goal within the boundaries of the fiendish contract. The attack of the Spellsword Academy will occur soon enough. Our story will continue with Nemesis Battles. For now, in the comment section, please share your ideas and suggestions about what could have happened differently and what could happen during other episodes. As always, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.